So yun yung four idols, ano? Now we go to the second part of his philosophy of Francis Bacon, which is the inductive method. So inductive method, we have four things that we need to consider. Um, Inductive method emphasizes on careful observation of nature and systematic accumulation of data. Ayan, careful observation, and those observation should have a systematic accumulation of data. Second, he shifted the focus from deductive reasoning, which is all about the Aristotelian method minsan, no, that is seeking truth from words and meaning, from deductive to systematic investigation of nature to uncover laws and theories. The third, the third is involved in accumulation of specific empirical observations. Classifying these facts into categories and carefully examining the results to identify possible causes responsible for the occurrence. And then the fourth, he shifted the focus from deductive reasoning, which relied on true statements or axioms as a base, to the systematic investigation of nature to uncover laws and theories. So, how can we simplify or understand Mr. Bacon's philosophical model in inductive method? Because this is the beginnings of scientific method. This is actually the beginnings of scientific method or the Baconian method. So first, emphasis on careful observation. Now, careful observation class, in the modern period, in our times, when you say careful observation, alangan naman, ganyan ka lang buong maghapon. Titignan mo lang yung langit. Careful observation, tapos record mo yung facts. Ay, ito yung cloud. Tapos i-measure mo yung cloud. Ganun ba? Now, in the modern models of scientific research, we have advanced instruments for careful observation. So, for example, you mentioned it earlier, for typhoons, what do we use as instruments? Satellite. And then, is the satellite capable of systematic accumulation of data? Is it possible? Yes. What agency in the Philippines that accumulates data from our satellites? Pag-asa, which stands for ano? Isa lang. Sige nga, isynchronize niya. 1, 2, 3. Ayan. So Pag-asa is our agency that specializes on that only. Alam nga naman Pag-asa, pagawaan mo ng tulay, pagawaan mo ng daan, DPWH na yun. So in Pag-asa, they have this specific function to observe the atmosphere, to observe geological things, no? That happens in the Philippines. Within our alam naman buong mundo. No, babagyo na nga sa Philippines, sa Korea pa yung satellite nakatutok. Hindi So there are methods in careful observation. You see this. The thinking of Francis Bacon is too advanced that until now we are applying it. Imagine nyo na lang ha. Imagine if our method of observation or method of finding truth for typhoons is based on the words of old people. Words of old people. Basta pag malakas ang hangin, may bagyo. Pag umiikot, may umiikot na ipo-ipo, may bagyo. We will not depend on those information. Unlike today, we have advanced instruments. No? Alam naman ganun. No, alam naman, ito yung notebook ni Lolo. Ganito daw pagka may bagyo. O pagka maraming langgam, may bagyo na darating. Di ba? Pero hanggang ngayon, pag maraming langgam, may bagyo, no? Second is investigation of nature to uncover laws and theories. What do we mean by this? Uncover laws and theories. After Francis Bacon, I don't know if they are kung magkasabay sila ni Galileo. No? But in these ideas, for example kay Isaac Newton, no? He uncovered the nature of physical manifestations of gravity as well as the laws of motions based only on calculations and based only on mathematics. No, alangan punta siya sa paano ba? Alangan try niyang paano ba? Subukan niya mismo na may mahulog sa kanya na cannonball. Kasi, ganito pala, masakit pala. Mahulugan ng cannonball. Yung the uncovering of other laws and theories, for example, laws of motion, was recorded using mathematics only, which is still careful observation of nature. For example, dito, si Galileo kasi yung unang naghulog Yung feather tsaka cannonball nulog niya Tapos yung observation niya is bakit sabay sila bumaba? Sabay yung rate ng pagbaba. So those are the initial inputs or the initial outputs of the laws of gravity. No? Ewan ko kung naintindihan niyo ako. Yan. Sabi nila, according to what I know, no? You can verify it. According to what I know, I think in one tower in Pisa, yung tower ng Pisa, hinulog niya doon. I think that is the experiment. Hinulog niya, tapos ba't pareho yung rate ng pagbagsak ng feather tsaka mas mabigat naman ang cannonball. So those are observations that were systematically listed. Yung data niya systematically listed. No? And careful observation. Uncovering laws and theories to For example, even in 1905, the papers of Albert Einstein in the laws of theoretical physics, as well as the behavior of light as a wave and as a particle, those are the things that were made based on mathematics and based on observation, systematic observation. Ayan. So, there is this importance. We need to place impetus or let's say place emphasis in the importance of recording information or accumulating data. Kaya nga sinasabi natin, for example, may isang student na gusto niyang alamin kung ilan ang average na dahon ng isang puno sa St. Louis. Anong gagawin niya? What will he do? Bilangin niya ba isa-isa? Aakyat ba siya dyan? Paano kaya? So those are questions that can be answered using not words and meaning, but by using careful observation as well as recording information. Habang nag-observe kayo, you list down information. Ha? Sino nang nakapanood ng Interstellar dito? Hindi. Panoorin nyo ang Interstellar. No? Interstellar. It's a beautiful film. Yung black hole inobserve niya ng ilang taon? 20 years na inobserve nung isang scientist isang black hole. No? Panoorin niyo yan, ganda, no? I will discuss some things para mas maintindihan yung scientific method. But this is inductive method. And this is the model that we use in scientific method. Huh? Okay. And then after you accumulate the information, you classify them. You classify them. For example, nagwalis ka dyan. Walis ka dyan sa Arubayan. Anong tawag ng Arubayan? Surrounding, no? Surrounding of USL. Nagwalis ka. Nagwalis ka ng ganyan. Ilan ang na-accumulate mong dumi? No, ilan ang na-accumulate mong dumi? Sa pag-accumulate mo ng dumi, ilan doon ang particle ng dust? Ilan doon ang particle ng dahon? Bakit? Ilan doon ang particle ng plastic? Hindi nga, example nga. How will you classify the garbage that you gathered? Diba? Ilan doon ang kape? Ilan doon ang papel? Ilan doon ang 3-in-1 na kape daw? Ilan yun? O parang ganun. In the 3-in-1 coffee, in a 3-in-1 packet, ilan doon yung sugar, ilan doon yung particle ng kape, ilan doon yung particle ng quiver. Ayan. So these are what we call classifying. Hindi yung nag-gather ka nga ng data halo-halo naman. No, hindi ganon, no? You classify information, classify. So which of these is numbers, which of these is words, which of these is photographs, which of these is videos. Yun yung mga data that can be measured. Clear? I hope that is clear. So unlike the deductive reasoning based on true statements or actions, hindi ganito ang inductive method. No, you try to train yourself to be more objective, no? To be more objective if there are arguments that are based on always in words or in meaning, you try to be objective. Hayaan mong matapos siya sa statement niya. And you gather all the words, you understand it, you collect it, and you try to classify it. Ilan doon ang mura ng sinabi niya. Oo, totoo yan. I will teach you how to classify words later on. No? Qualitative. No, text analysis. I will show you how to text analyze. No? Kayo kung maniwala, kayo hindi. Yeah. Kaya naman sa inyo. Naman. Kaya bahala ko. Wait lang. Diyan, nakakapagod. And then finally, Bacon's emphasis on experimentation. The importance of experiments. So Bacon emphasized the importance of experimentation in his work and believed experiments needed to be carefully recorded so that the results could be both reliable and repeatable. So ito na yung sinasabi ko before. This is what I'm saying before, that The results should be reliable and repeatable. Why am I saying this? Why am I saying that reliability and repeatability should be emphasized in academic research and in scientific research? Why am I saying this? For example, mamatay ako mamaya. Basta yung methodology ko na isulat na lahat, pwedeng ulitin nila yung experiments ko, or they can replicate it, or they can continue the method. Naintindihan nyo? So, in the field of science until today, the reason why there are scientific fields that are still existing, for example, astrophysics, ano pa? Bigyan nyo ano ng biology? Ng botany, for example, botany. The reason why botany is still existing is because no matter how many scientists have died, the same methodology is continued. The same methodology is continued. And because it is reliable and repeatable. Yan yung dahilan kung bakit existing pa rin ang sciences. Especially natural science. So, for example, si LJ, gusto kong aralin si LJ. So, LJ, magiging LJology. Parang si Adelphiology. Ganon. Basta lagyan niyang ology. Okay. Taylor Swiftology. Ganon. So, the importance of reliable and repeatable methods. Naintindihan nyo ba? Kasi medyo nag-aalangan ako eh. Same. Even the methods and results. For example, ganito ito yung result na kaya nga kako, you write everything. You write the method. So before you come up with the result, what was your method? In order for it to be reliable and repeatable. Pero kapag meron ka ng iba na yes. But still, if you have added some factors, again, if another scientist or researcher will add that factor, the result should be the same. So, yun yung biases sometimes in research. For example, may example ako dito mamaya. Pasensya na akong black and white lang ang sorry talaga. I do not intend to bore you in my ano ba yan? Kalibri pa naman yan, tsaka tahoma lang. I hope you understood what I am saying about scientific method. Okay. The influence of scientific method, especially the one that Francis Bacon said. It rejected the old-fashioned philosophies influenced by Aristotle or Aristotelian thought, because for so long, the Aristotelian method was used, no? For so long. I think mga 1,000 years na nagamit ang Aristotelian method. But because of the scientific method, biglang na-reject yung Aristotelian method. That's why this is one of the turning events of philosophy or science as a whole. Actually, dito mo makikita ang scientific methodology, yung beginning ng scientific methodology and science as a real as a real study, no? Natural study. Tapos pangalawa, it embraced the humanistic spirit of empirical observation and experimentation. Hindi pwede na yung gagawa ng experiment mo, dog, kundi tao talaga. Or the person as the interpreter, the gatherer of data. Now, let's go to scientific method. Yung talagang scientific method na talaga. Ha? So this is scientific method. So we have 7, no? I will show you an example. So during these slides, you will see an example of scientific method. No? Scientific method done by me. Yeah. Mahirap kasi yung magsalita ako dito na makaturo naman scientific method, parang ginawa niya na. Ganon. Siyempre, nag-overthink ako yung mga isipin ng estudyante na wala rin naman alam yung teacher. So, ang scientific method is a systematic approach. Systematic approach to inquiry and investigation. Hindi yung namamahiya. No? Hindi siya namamahiya na inquiry. Halimbawa, saan yung barya ko? Hindi ganon. Inquiry, I mean, inquiry that is asking valid questions that is objective as well as it is valid in a way that you can provide information for it. Tapos investigation, hindi yung investigation na investigahan mo talaga ng NBI, hindi ganon, no? Although, in anthropology, especially in the field of forensics, investigation is a real thing, no? So, scientific method is a systematic approach to inquiry and investigation that is used to acquire knowledge and understanding of the natural world. Natural world, ha? Natural world. Hindi supernatural world. Aral ka ng paranormal. Paano mo aralin yun? How can you measure it? The second is, it involves a series of steps and principles aimed at formulating and testing hypotheses through empirical observation and experimentation. Pangalawa, doon sa pangalawang bullet, involves a series of steps and principles aimed at formulating and testing hypotheses. Hypothesis, we mean by an educated guess. Hypothesis is an educated guess. So, manghula ka, pero hindi naman yung hula na kalokohan. Something that is academic in nature, no? The hypothesis. Through empirical observation and experimentation. Hindi ko na-bold tong N. Hindi na-bold tong N, no? Then the third, there are 3 key components that typically that is included in scientific method. Ito yung usual key components. Alangan naman introduction, method, gano'n, hindi Introduction, RRL, gano'n, hindi Ito yung key components niya, So we have 7. First is observation. Second, question formulation. Third is hypothesis development. Fourth is experimentation. Fifth, data analysis. 6, conclusion and communication. 7, peer review and replication. I-explain natin yan lahat. 7. No? Huwag kayong mahilo, ha? Yung unang part Francis Bacon yun, na ito scientific method na mismo, ha? So paano na yan applicable in architecture? How can this be applicable in architecture? I will show you an example. One case study that I conducted last 2020. Yan. Observation. First observation. Observation, it begins with the scientific method, or SM, begins with careful observation of natural phenomena or a specific problem. So let's say that the specific problem is SBS, sick building syndrome. Can we observe sick building syndrome? Do we observe SBS, sick building syndrome? For example, yung building mo mismo ang pangit. Pagpasok mo sa building, kapal ng hangin talaga. Meron ganun, no? Na space, no? There are spaces like that. Ang gaba ng hangin dito. Ganun ka. Init dito. Parang si building lang, ano? So, SBS. So, for example, SBS. So, that is the first observation. Yun yung first step nyo. Observation. Second is the question formulation. So, when we say question formulation, we ask things that is based on the observation, that can be formulated using scientific inquiry. No? So for example, pagka scientific inquiry class, hindi siya supernatural in nature. Baka may multo dito, kaya mabigat ang hangin, ganun. No. A scientific inquiry is about objective questions or inquiries that can be measured. For example, may 3 question ka agad eh. Binigla ko na para wala nang animation. Sure, ganun. So, imagine nyo na lang na may animation. So, for example, sick building syndrome, what causes it? After an SBS, what is its effect? And after its effect, what can be done? What is the remedy? So, this is an example only of inquiry, a valid inquiry for an SBS. A case report, a case study. So, question pa lang yan, no? Bakit kaya? Ano kaya ang dahilan? Ano yung epekto niya sa tao? Anong epekto niya sa dog ko kung ganito? No? Tapos, paano ko i-remedyo? Paano ko gawa ng paraan to? So, that is scientific method in question formulation. Ito yung sinasabi ninyong research questions actually. No? These are the research questions. So, let's go to the next step. Hypothesis development. Hypothesis development is a testable explanation or prediction. So when we say testable explanation or prediction, a testable prediction or explanation, you try to factor in some things that can be the answer of this. So itong mga nilagay ko diyan, mga abbreviation lang, no. formulated to answer the question or solve the problem. For example, what causes it? So I place three small factors there. So PM, when you say PM, particulate matter, maybe particulate matter. Kaya siguro bigat sa pakiramdam itong building na ito. Maraming particulate matter, maraming dust. No, ito, chalk dust. Particulate matter. Maraming umutot. Yan. The second is chemicals that were used to build this building. Chemicals or CH. And then the third factor would be, ito hypothesis ko lang to ha. This is my hypothesis. It can be because the space is too small. The space is too small. So yun ang factoring natin. And then for the effect of the SBS, it can be building-related illness or BRI. For example, can we test really what is the effect of a building that has sick building syndrome? Can we test it? Meron ba? Kaya ba natin? Kahit observation lang. Only observation. If a building has this, but kahit itong si building lang natin, can we test this hypothesis? What is the effect? Through gathering people, tapos mag-state nila yung sasabihin nila. Mag-stay sila. Grabe, ginawang experiment talaga, no?
Parang dalawa sir, diba?
Ha?
So, ganun yung mga scientist yung gano'n.
Ganun. So, LJ has this proposal that you can test this hypothesis by placing the people in the space. Unfortunately, mamaya biglang may namatay. Na?
Kamag-alak mo na lang yung makaya mo.
So the answer is yes, we can measure this. No? We can measure this by interviewing people that has already visited the building. No? Para hindi naman na harmful yung experiment. Pagpunta ako dyan bigat sa pakiramdam. Naiiyak ako. Mga ganun. So those are examples. Na? So you can test this hypothesis. Na? And then, finally, you can also test the hypothesis of the remedy. So, for example, experiments. So, for example, experiments, you try to include new materials, you try to include new systems to improve the space. Okay? So, this is hypothesis development. Okay, kung maniwala kayo. Mahirap naman kasi ipilitin. Okay. For the experimentation, this is quasi-experimental or simulation only. Kasi I cannot afford it. Wala akong instrument. So what I did is to use a software. So this is IECCU based on a software that was developed by the US EPA or US Environmental Protection Act na software. So ito nagko-control simulate siya ng behaviors ng particulate matter in a certain space. Yeah, parang dinosaur yung yung interface niya, parang cathode ray tube pag i-open mo. Alam yung fan niya basic. Na. Yata. So ito, this is an example. Na. So this is the experimentation. And then I use data analysis. Yeah, so data analysis. The data collected from experiment are analyzed to draw conclusions. So in the data analysis, we use the information to draw conclusions and determine whether the hypothesis is supported or refuted. Refuted, we mean by rejected. Ibig sabihin, hindi totoo yung hypothesis mo. It cannot be supported. So, if that is the case, since it can happen that your hypothesis can be refuted, it is still resolved. Kahit zero yung result mo, it is still resolved. There is one time that, mahirap magsalita. No? There is one time that, edit ko na lang itong sasabihin ko. There is one time that they tested my knowledge on data gathering. And he said that data can be nullified. Nullified, we mean nullified. Paano mo masasabi na null and void ang isang data or null and void ang isang result kung hindi naman biased yung tao na gumawa? So, we say that even if your hypothesis was not supported, even your result was zero, it is still result because you use scientific method and you tried. You tried. Di kagaya na mag-hypothesis ka nga, trinay mo ba sa experimentation? Have you tried? So, there is a huge difference between a zero result and a result that was not executed or that was not used by scientific method. Naintindihan niyo ako? Magkaiba. Magkaiba yung zero na result sa walang ginawa. Magkaiba yun. Magkaiba yun. So in this case, ito yung sinulat ko pero ewan kung nababasa nyo. But if I will read, on the above discussed test, it is conclusive that the volume of workspace and its plenum spaces has substantial bearing in the indoor air quality air. Though minute in scale, this affects the indoor breathing of employees and can lead to SBS or VRI. It is also noteworthy of the above comparative analysis of the data that COA as the most unhealthy space being too small in volume. On the other hand, the cashier zone has the ideal volume to be ventilated. It can be said that centralizing HVAC systems with this in mind gradually mix up chemical compounds along the process. To mitigate this, decentralizing HVAC is therefore proposed. Continuous maintenance on HVAC equipment should be done at least every 6 months so as to minimize particulate matters and dust to settle. Zoning is also critical in this matter. All storage spaces with strong scents, powder-inducing spaces for Xerox machines, bulk paper, comfort rooms, and similar types of spaces shall be far from working areas. Government buildings should enhance their ventilation systems to a minimum of 120 cubic meter per hour so as to invest in the health welfare of office employees. If such is the case, it can be said that the code regulations in the Philippines is up to health standards and needs being applied into all government office building. To summarize this class, to simplify this, ito yung lumilitaw sa experimentation, sa simulation. Kung titignan nyo, yung normal na curve, na curve ng isang space, bumababa yung particulate matter pagka may introduce na ventilation system. So, what I mean is that particulate matter is different when you include ventilation system na isolated ventilation system. So ito yung conclusion nito. So for example, kung itong space na to lagyan ng centralized or decentralized ACU or ventilation system, mas maganda yung pag-circulate ng hangin kasi hindi mag-mix up yung particles, hindi mag-mix up yung chemicals. So that is the conclusion. Versus a space that has no ventilation system. So hindi mo mapipigilan yan. Ano mo gusto mo? Mamatay sa SBS or you can work comfortably and healthy in a space na may ventilation system na centralized. So ito yung pinatry ng hypothesis na to that was supported by data. Ito yung curve niya. Ang dami niyan eh. Figure 20.3 na yan eh. So the paper was very long, no? So this is an example. I did this experiment. Ano yung niya? Ano yung conclusion and communication niya? Actually, uploaded siya sa ResearchGate. Uploaded siya. And there are people that are messaging me about this experiment. For example, yan sa Mapua. So some people are communicating with me about this study. So in academic or scientific community, if you have an analysis, you have a conclusion, you have results, ilabas mo. Huwag kang mahihiya, huwag kang matakot. Siguro kung takot ka siguro na ilabas ang data, siguro may dinaya ka na data. But there are cases na for us that we know our methods, hindi kami takot na mag-upload. So, ito, hindi ko mabasa eh. Yung sabi, may isang student from Mapua na nagtatanong na nagtitesis siya about sick building syndrome. So, nagtatanungan and then ito yung mga sagot-sagot ko. So, yun, the purpose again of research is to contribute to the body of knowledge. Contribute. So, kung wala kang contribution sa body of knowledge, who are you? No, in the scientific community. Then, who are you? No? If you do not have a contribution. So, hindi naman ako namamahiya, no? But this is the question for you students. No? Ano ang ambag mo sa science ng architecture? What is your contribution? Na? So, this is one of my contributions. Mga 46 na ata eh. Na separate. So, again, ewan ko kung familiar kayo sa kataga na to. No? We stand on the shoulder of giants. No? Na ginamit ni Isaac Newton. Stand on the shoulder of giants. Ibig sabihin, pagka may nakatapos ng mag-research, ituloy mo kahit namatay na yung nag-research. Ituloy mo, you contribute. No? You contribute to the current understanding of research. Now, where is this published? Actually, nasa ResearchGate siya, no? You can find it in ResearchGate. You can download it. The last process is peer review and replication. So for example, this one, he is trying to replicate it. Hindi siya nangungopyahan ng method. He is trying to verify if the method was correct and what can be done to improve it. So that is our purpose as researchers, no? As people who do thesis or who do dissertation. So, yun ang gagawin ninyo o gagawin natin in the course of RM. We try to understand phenomena, we try to validate, we try to replicate researches. No? Yeah. You have any question about this? Wala. Alam niyo, mga Hapon, hindi sila nahihiya na ipakita yung mga result nila. No? Pagka kami nga nagpe-present